You know, a lot of things have been said about Elden Ring, but in my opinion, one of the things that really made Elden Ring one of the best and most exciting open world games of all time is, well, its open world game design. In Elden Ring, it was like a magical experience. You look at the environment, you observe it, and you never really know what's actually lying ahead. Sometimes you see an area and you don't really know how to get there, and sometimes you get into a certain place and you get in completely different place. It's kind of like a mind maze, something that was meant to confuse you and surprise you, and it was done masterfully in almost every way. Even when you see something that seems like worthwhile getting to, you know it's not going to be easy, and the way to actually get there involves a lot of, well, exploration. Although things are very close to you, you know that are not easy to get. But in Elden Ring also the environment works in your favor, and I think that this is actually what made this game more accessible to me as a Souls game. Basically what I did was actually try to find ways to overcome certain obstacles, which at the first time of course I couldn't face them directly because I wasn't really expert in dodging well on doing things well, so I used the environment to my advantage. I think it was actually a great design because some players who were not into Souls game, for example, and they weren't able to, well, complete certain challenges, we can just go and face other challenges elsewhere. And of course, because they spend time, they're gonna level up, and once they come to the same place where they had a challenge that was difficult for them, they'll be able to face that challenge and complete it. The checkpoint were actually placed very well, usually after or before significant boss fights or mini bosses, which allows you of course to try to tackle that particular challenging fight without actually needing to travel several minutes in order to get to the same place, which of course in some other Souls game would lead to frustration. Here it's actually designed well. I mean, why actually do that if you already want to challenge a certain boss, for example, and try to beat it until you get it? For me it felt great, and I felt that I can try to do the challenge again rather than being demotivated by just needing to travel for a long distance in order to be able to face that boss again. Another thing regarding the open world is not just the complexity of the world, but the scale. Also, I haven't mentioned the design of the world. This was questionable. Some people didn't like the design. I actually find the design of the game to be beautifully artistic and beautifully designed. It just felt different compared to other things. Some people saw it as kind of degraded graphics, but I don't know, there's something about the design, the way they designed when it comes to the textures, the color palette, it just felt very artistic in generally speaking. I mean, after Elden Ring, I always ask myself when there's going to be that new game that's going to be stand at least in line, or who knows, even better than what Elden Ring was when it comes to open world game design. Well, one thing I know for sure that I'll be looking towards those games from Software, because again those people who designed it did an amazing job and they're working there. But again, there were so many other open world games that, well, felt okay, but you felt that was something missing. The world just wasn't designed in the way that actually really excited you to explore. And you will see for yourself that many other games, open world games, not necessarily Souls-like games or Souls games, will of course be compared to Elden Ring, because this was absolutely a huge achievement. And many developers will of course learn from this game, and I think when Elden Ring came, I knew that from that point on things will change when we go forward, because again this game is not just a terrific open world game, it's a very inspiring game, and developers who will develop their future games, and I'm sure many of them will come very soon, will be inspired, got inspired by Elden Ring. And honestly, now even talking about it, I really want to go back and play more Elden Ring. Seriously, sometimes I don't get things in any other game and I just feel going back to the game to experience things again. But of course, many of the secrets I already discovered, so it won't be exciting as the first time, and nothing beats Elden Ring when you play it for the first time. So again, what made actually Elden Ring open world game design so great? Well, I can mention a few things. First of all, the complexity of the world hidden with simplicity. So things look pretty simple and straightforward, but eventually they are not. This actually triggers your curiosity, makes you observe the world and try to understand it, because you know that what you see is not actually what it seems to be. There are some areas that are hidden. Now, I know some players don't like, kind of a hidden walls and stuff, but again, this is just one thing. There are quite a few of them here. But again, the thing is that the game was designed to make you want to explore fully, and you know that whatever it takes, even millions of people who are gonna play the game, some secret will still remain. And I actually won't be surprised if there are some secret remain that nobody has found till this date. The other thing, of course, make it very rewarding. Unlike some other games where you get drops like crazy, even Elden Ring, every drop matters. Because again, you don't get a lot of drops. When you get something, especially when it comes to weapons or other gear, it's important, it's significant. The other thing is regarding elevation. Elden Ring is absolutely a masterpiece when it comes to designing world that you can explore fully, whether it's underground areas, caves, dungeons, or top of towers. You can get to so many places. Some of them, of course, will be you need to explore and find kind of secret ways together, but you can get to so many places where you get beautiful vistas and just view the world, especially when you are searching for some places where you can find some great loot. You want to observe it, and Elden Ring give you that, whether you're going to use your horse to jump into certain places, or whether you're going to find some secret pathways that lead you to some secret areas that give you some really very rewarding loot, or just beautiful view of the world. But generally speaking, Elden Ring will give you something rewarding if you're able to find a way to get to certain places. The other thing is the ability to choosing your own path, not make it linear. I think this is one of the main strengths of Elden Ring, especially I think what made it so successful with the ability to penetrate the mass market when it comes to Souls games, still maintaining difficulty, but allow players who aren't able to succeed to a certain degree in some of the challenges to try to go somewhere else and find different things and level up, and instead of just getting stuck in a certain location for many hours trying to beat a boss, you can just go explore other areas and get stronger. So I think the balance between managing frustration when it comes to combat and succeeding and beating especially bosses kind of spread in a really nice way to make it more accessible game when it comes to Souls games. And I think this not just made players enjoy the game so much, this also made them want to play other Souls games. And I'm telling you from my experience, this was my first Souls games, and it made me play so many other Souls games just because I played this game. It's actually opened up a new world for me to explore roguelike games. Before that, again, because of the difficulty, because of the reset, and I need to try things again from the beginning with some games, I wasn't encouraged to play them at all. But now after Elden Ring, I have no problem with that. I'm enjoying it. So not just From Software did an amazing job in that to appeal to the mass market with this game design, it also made them promote other games, other Souls games that they developed, because players will just be, after playing Elden Ring, they're more into the state of gameplay mind that you need in order to play this type of games, and they want to play other From Software games and see what they're all about. Of course, the experience will be different, because Elden Ring is really something different that's From Software made compared to other Souls games. But again, people got accustomed to the difficulty, to the gameplay, to the mechanics to some degree. Of course, they are different from game to game in different ways, but I think this just made From Software just promote all their other Souls games, and I'm sure that many players who played Elden Ring as a first Souls game will want to try other Souls games as well. And I think this game also helped promote the entire genres when it comes to roguelite and Souls-like games, and I think the entire industry just benefit from Elden Ring being there as a game. I mean, the first game that I played after that I didn't want to even touch was actually Returnal on the PlayStation 5. I could play it anytime I want because it's part of the collection. We can just get it for free, but I even touched it. It looked amazing, but I was scared of it. But after I finished Elden Ring, the first game I went to play was actually Returnal. And of course, I'm not the only one. And that of course will lead to the industry to releasing more Souls games and more roguelike games. I really just push them forward, whether before them some of them, might not have a large appeal. Of course, roguelite and roguelike games still have very, very large appeal, but I think this just enhances enhanced it times fold. And personally, I want to see more Souls games. I mean, more and more and more. And yeah, I can definitely now understand why Souls players, those who like Souls-like games or Souls games, just enjoy it so much. I'm there with you. Before that, I was scared to death from those games. And that's it. I think Elden Ring, when it comes to open world game design, is just absolutely a masterpiece. Will inspire so many developers down the road, and of course just push the industry forward when it comes to the genre itself. And that's about it. I want to hear your opinion, what you thought about the open world game design, Elden Ring. Do you think the same or you have different thoughts? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.